What's going on, everyone? So, the Los Angeles Lakers, the back tail end of this season, the last, 15 games or so, is when you really want to start making that push, right? It's when you really want to start, getting your playoff rotation worked out. You want to start seeing that progress, seeing guys start to figure some stuff out, especially when you trade for a superstar, one of the, not just any superstar, literally one of the top 3 to 5 players in the league, one of the most high usage, ball dominant players ever, right? Like, you're talking about a guy that you're implementing into a team, and something that I've talked about, right? It's very hard to implement a star. Role players are easy. A guy like Dorian Finney-Smith came in, and from the moment he got here, he has been our best plus minus guy, and every night you could always count him. Why? Because he knows his role. He plays his role. He's built an entire career on that said role. So it's just like, hey, you know what you're doing? Everywhere else? Yeah, just do that here, right? And you just plug and play. Now, when you're talking about a star or an all-star, right, it's harder because they're used to playing a specific role. They're used to getting a certain amount of shots. They're used to being the guy or one of the guys, right? Then you add in a superstar, particularly one who's the best player, who he's like, there's only like, in his mind, he's looking at it as like, nobody's better than me. From the outside perspective, at worst, there's only like 2 guys better than him. And it's hard to implement, especially when you usually are the system, you usually are the guy. There's a learning curve. So Lakers have a lot that they still need to work on. They still need to figure out, jobs not finished, but you're starting to see the things that you want to see. You're starting to see this team figure some stuff out. And in particular, the role guys. The role guys have done a really good job of picking it up and figuring it out as well, right? You look at Gabe Vincent, Dorian Finney-Smith in particular, who we're going to continue to touch on here in a moment. But, again, job's not finished. They still have a lot of work. They still got to figure out a few things, right? It's still not looked great at times. And look, there's going to be ups and downs, but can you get it good enough to actually win an NBA championship? We're going to see. We're going to find out. But it's not just on LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. Yes, the large bulk is, right? Like, we go as far as LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves take us, but you need LeBron and Luka to be transcending. Austin Reeves, he needs to be, great. And the Lakers have a legitimate chance. But they have a lot of holes. They have a lot of flaws, right? But at the end of the day, you need the role guys to be able to step in, pick it up. Who are the guys that you can count on? What is your, 9-man rotation? I think it's pretty clear. I think we see the vision. I think we know what this team is going to look like, how this is going to shape up now the rest of this season and going into the postseason. Obviously, you have, Luka, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, LeBron James, and Jackson Hayes. But then you have Gabe Vincent, Jordan Goodwin, right? Jared Vanderbilt. And then I do think you'll see like little spot minutes here and there for, like Dalton Connect or, some of these other guys. But, Dorian Finney-Smith is the guy that's probably going to get the bulk. So your 9-man rotation is basically solidified, right? Guys like Dalton Connect, guys like, Alex Lynn, I could see in spots, right? Like there's going to be moments where some of these other guys might get, little spot minutes, but for the most part, you're looking at your rotation. Guys, Shake Milton, I could see maybe just getting a little pinch, right? We just need a spark, need some offense. It's like, hey, just throw Shake out there and see if he can catch fire, right? Or Connect out there and see if he can catch fire. So there's going to be guys that I do think will get, slight moments here and there. But for the most part, I think the playoff rotation is solidified, right? And you're seeing this roster essentially being broken down into like little assignments, like little divisions, right? You have obviously LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves that are, the guys. Their job is to handle the offense, right? Creating for themselves, creating for others, so on and so forth. But then you have the 3-and-D guys and Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith and even Jordan Goodwin. I mean, he's shooting 42.9% from 3-point range, right? It might have dropped a little bit, but basically 42% from 3, because I think he was like 0-3 in the last game. But, he's essentially he's above 40% from 3-point range, right? So you got your 3-and-D guys, right? Yes, I know guys like Dalton Connect and Rui Hachimura and stuff like that can knock down the three, but they're not 3 and D guys, right? They're more of like 3 guys. But then you have those like, you know, in spot scorers, Rui Hachimura, right? Dalton Connect, you could put in that classify. Shaken Milton, you could put in that classify, but he's not really in the rotation. Those two guys, it's kind of just Rui, you know, because he would be added the score, and then just like the interior size, right? Give you some physicality on the inside with him. But then you have like the dirty work guys, the grunt guys, Jared Vanderbilt, you know, Jordan Goodwin in particular, right? Even Gabe Vincent and Dorian Finney-Smith you could put in that category. And so you're seeing the roster really starting to shape up, right? Again, it's still not a full cake yet, right? Like it doesn't, you know, you still have a lot of work to go, but you know, you're seeing it's in the oven, right? And you're starting to see it take its shape. You're starting to see it take its form, right? And it's just, can it take its form enough to where, you know, the cake is good enough to win the show? Right? You have all the ingredients. You put everything into the pan. You know, you got it all right. You know, it's starting to really take its shape, take its form. It's looking just beautiful. You're just like, ah, man. But you know, once you pull it out of the oven, you put all the, you know, the frosted everything on it. You know, you start making that cake. Things start taking its shape, and you know, you see, okay, this is it. This is the winner, or it's, you know. We have some work to do in the offseason type thing. So I am really curious to see, you know, how far this team goes, how much they're able to kind of figure out between now and the postseason, right? Because from the moment we traded for Luka, the big theme that I talked about is like, I don't care about game 77 as much as I care about game 1 of the playoffs. As long as the Lakers finish with the top, you know, 5, 6 seed, as long as they're not a play-in team, as long as they're a playoff team, right? I'll take my chances. Right? You're going to have to win some road games. You're going to have some battles regardless, right? But to me, health and them figuring it out are the biggest factors. Now, obviously, I want a top 4 seed so they get home court in the first round. But again, like, you know, if the Lakers are going to win, it has to be on the back of LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reaves, right? Yes, the role guys are going to come in. They're going to trickle and give their little pieces and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's those 3 guys. LeBron and Luka being transcending, Austin Reaves being very good, role guys playing their role and doing their things. Right? So to me, it's like from the moment the Luka trade happened to the playoffs, can they figure it out in that gap in between? And I think they can. And I'm excited for it. But we'll see. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Hey Phil, what are your thoughts? Do you agree that, you know, the team's really starting to shape up? You're starting to see the things that you want to see. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it either way. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.